Here's our zombie pig pattern tutorial. I'm so excited. Make sure you like and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more. You're going to grab your loops and thread yarn, your 5mm hook, your scissors, your sewing needle, and then don't forget your stuffing and then your red loops and thread yarn or chenille home yarn. Everything will be linked in the description below as well. So first off, we are starting with our green, and you are going to make a magic circle. I know not everybody's a fan of a magic circle, but we're going to make a magic circle, and we are going to do 6 single stitches inside that magic circle. I apologize, bear with me on the camera. I will make it not blurry. I don't know why it's zoomed in on the background yarn. Alright, so after that, you are going to be doing another 6 single stitches, but inside of the back loop only. And like I said before, all the materials for this pattern will be in the description below, as well as I will have this pattern paired up as a 2-for-1 on my Etsy for $3 with my pig witch pattern. Okay, and once we did that, we are now on row number 3, and we are going to be doing an increase in every single stitch all the way around, and you're going to be ending with 12 single stitches in total. Here's about where I realized that I am not in focus, and I apologize, but we are moving on to row number 4. We are going to be doing 4 regular single stitches. That's my last stitch from the other row, but we're going to do 4 regular single stitches, then 4 increased stitches, and then 4 regular stitches, ending with 16. So again, 4 stitches, 4 increase, 4 single stitches, ending with 16. Here you will be seeing the face coming along. The part where my thumb was is where the eyes are going to be, right there. And you'll be able to see right now that the snout is popping out, and it should be laying pretty nice. So now we are going to be moving on to row number 5. And again, we are doing 4 single stitches, and then we're going to do 8 increases, and then 4 single stitches all the way around, ending with 24 stitches. And that is the last time we are going to be increasing, and I mean until the ears, but that's the last time we're going to be increasing for the body in general. Also, if you have no idea how to actually be doing single stitches or decrease or increases or double crochets, because that is also in here, let me know down in the comments, and I will be making a video as soon as I possibly can to show you how to do this. Now we are starting row number 6, and in row number 6 we're going to be doing the ears. So you're going to do 8 single stitches, and then you are going to do, in the front loop only, in stitch number 9, you're going to do a double crochet, and then a chain 1, and then another double crochet, and then a slip stitch, all in one stitch. I like to chaos crochet, so I personally don't use stitch markers, but if you need a stitch marker, definitely stitch mark the back loop of that one so you know where it is for later. And now we're doing our second double crochet and slip stitch, and that is stitch number 9, and then we are going to be doing 5 single stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now again in the front loop only, we are going to do a double crochet. So here's my first double crochet. I'm struggling. And then a single stitch, our second double crochet, and then we're going to do our slip stitch, and that would be stitch number 15. Now you're going to do 9 single stitches to end with 24. As you can see here, our pig is coming along. It's being super cute. I like to play with the snout a little bit to make sure that it is in the correct spot. And if you look at it from the side, it should be curving nicely down. So now we are on to row number 7, and this is where we're going to add our feet. So we are going to be doing 8 single stitches. So that's 4. Here's 5, 6, 7, and last one 8. And then you're going to fold the ear down and find that back loop, and you're going to do a single stitch in that for 9, and then continue on the rest of it all the way around. So there is 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15 again. Fold the ear back, find that back loop that we dropped, unless if you use a stitch marker, and then you're going to do another single crochet for number 15, and then you are going to do 6 single stitches all the way down. But before you finish that 6 single stitch, we are going to be adding our second color on. So that one should have been 3 if I was counting correctly. And then here is 4. So here's number 6, but instead of using the last yarn over with the light green, you're going to use it with the dark green to finish off number 6 to color change. And now we are going to be doing a bobble stitch in stitch number 22, which is just a half double crochet, half finish. So you only slide it through part way, and then you grab it again and then loop through and slide it through part way. So you're going to have 3 on there, and now you should have 4 pieces of yarn on there and 5 to make your bobble stitch, and then take the next color and slide it all the way through. And that is our bobble stitch to make 1 foot. And now we're going to do a single stitch for 23 and a single stitch for 24. Okay, so before we move on to number 28, I'm going to show you, like, I am weaving in this yarn through the back, so it's not going to be giving me a hassle later on. And I like to pinch the sides and kind of like twist them how I did to make the bobble stitch pop out a little bit more. But now we are going to be doing a single crochet and ending that one's color changing again. And then we are going to be doing another bobble stitch. So yarn over, pull it through, and yarn over only 2 loops, and then yarn over again, pull it through, and then over 2 loops, and do that 2 more times. And then you're going to put the light green back on top of it and slide it all the way through. And that is stitch number 2. And then you are going to be doing 22 single stitches all the way around to finish row number 8 out. You can cut it how I did. I usually don't, but for the sake of the video with how knotted my yarn is, I did. But you don't have to do this. You can just leave the string going so it's less for you to weave in later. Here is 22, and then number 23 will be in the dark green stitch, and then 24 is the one right after it. So now I am just kind of checking things over, and now we are going to add in the eye. I like to add in the eye kind of wherever how I see it. Right, in this one I believe it's in between rows 5 and 6, and I am using an 18mm eye. It's a lot bigger than what I normally use, but that's just what I'm doing now. So now we are doing rows 9, 10, and 11. 9 and 10 are both going to just be 24 single stitches, and 11 is going to be 23 single stitches and one last bobble stitch, and I'm just going to fast forward to the end of row 11. So here we are now, that is the 23rd stitch, and now we are going to be adding our color again to get the 3rd foot. So pull it through to color change, and now stitch number 24 is going to be the bobble stitch. Make sure you are ending your bobble stitch by pulling through with the light green yarn to set yourself up for your next row. Now we are on row number 12. We are going to be doing 4 single stitches, so 1, weaving in the ends as we go because I want to make your life easier. So there's 2, there's 3, and here's 4. And make sure that the 4th one is going to be ending with the dark green yarn over so you can set yourself up for that last bobble stitch. And now we are going to be pulling it through, and we are going to be doing our next stitch, which is a single stitch, and then for 6 and then 7 is also a single stitch, and 8 will be our first decrease, and we are going to be doing that 4 times. So here's a decrease, and then now we're going to move on to the next, which was 9 is single stitch, 10 is a single stitch, and 11 is a decrease. And so we're going to keep doing that until you get to stitch 17, and then the last 3 stitches are just going to be a single stitch. So you will be ending with 20. Row number 13, we are going to be doing 2 single stitches and a decrease again, and you're going to be ending with 15. So there's 2, and then 3 is a decrease, and then 4 is a single stitch, 5 is a single stitch, 6 decrease, and then keep going around until you hit 15. And now my favorite part, we're going to stuff it. So I literally take in a little bit and put in as much as I can just in the snout. so it's all focused in there, and then I just start stuffing the rest of the body. I also like to make a hole in the center so I can squish up as much stuffing as I can on the sides, and then I can fill in that hole afterwards. I can't remember who it was, but somebody on Instagram said to make sure you are feeling your plushie with your hands and not just looking for spaces, because you're going to feel the empty spaces more than when you are going to just be looking for them. And then I do take the crochet hook because I didn't like how much stuffing wasn't in the snout, and I'm taking it and I'm bringing it forward, and then I'm going to be pushing more stuffing down to fill in the spaces that I just took from. And now we are going to be doing our second to last row and adding in the tail. So we are going to be doing one single stitch and then a decrease. And that's pretty much just how it is going to be all the way around. We are going to be ending with 10. So there's 3 and then decrease for 4, 5, 6, and number 7 is where we are adding the tail. So number 7, we're just going to stop on that single stitch and you're going to chain 5. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then starting in the second row from the hook, you're going to be doing an increase in each stitch. And then you are going to be slip stitching back down into the body in the original first single crochet. I'm struggling in this part. I did do the stitch a little bit tighter than I did all the other ones, but you still have to push through and do your increase in it as well. And here is that slip stitch. And now we are going to be carrying on. I like to twist the tail to make sure it's curling properly. But now we're going to carry on and do our decrease for stitch number 8. And then single stitch for 9. And last one, decrease for 10. This is your last kind of spot that you can stuff it if you need more. But now we're just going to do 5 decreases all the way around. And then you're going to fasten off and weave in the ends. And I just want to apologize now. I'm a stay-at-home mom and my baby was awake the whole entire time I was trying to make this video and do the voiceover for it. So I am sorry, but welcome to all of the awesome sounds here in my household today. I like to look him over, but now we are going to be adding our stitches and the eye. We'll grab that red yarn and pull it through. What I like to do is I like to start where I'm going to start the stitches on the back, which I do it on the side where the eye is. And every single time it is different, but it's kind of the same. So I do 2 to 3 stitches back, but I'm going to take that needle and I'm going to put it through where I want the eye to start, so it's less sewing for me later on. And I'm just going to go about 1 single stitch away from the ear, so there's a little gap that you will see, and then about 1 single stitch inside the ear to go down to start the X. And then I go straight across but underneath to start forming the other half of the X is what you're seeing. It's why I'm going sideways right here. And now pull it tight, and then I go up kind of underneath the ear, and then I go back into the same stitch as the first original red piece, and then pull it tight again. Make sure you like it how it is. I like how it's off center. Everybody's different. If you want it perfect, make it perfect. He's a zombie and he's handmade, so he's going to be different than all of the other ones. So now I go about 1, 2, 3 spaces or stitches in between, as you can see, diagonally down, and then I thread my needle back up through that same spot that I'm coming from, just so I know that it's going to be one solid red line. And then from there, I am going to be going in through that stitch again to kind of go over 1 or 2 stitches, because I want to have it go down on both sides at the same time. You will see here very shortly what I am talking about. And then from then on, you're just going to kind of be making them as long or as short as you want. I kind of like the first one to be somewhat long, but the second one I like the longest. Here I'm adding it inside the same stitch. You don't have to do that. You can if you want to. And then the third one I am making shorter, but also adding in to where I originally started, because I am going to be tying off them together and then I'm going to be weaving them in. And if you're working with chenille yarn, if you know, you have to kind of beat it up a little bit to get all of the random fuzzies gone. And now just pull it through to hide your ends. There you have it, our zombie pig. I am so freaking excited about him. He is literally one of my favorite creations that I have done. Again, you can use this pattern to make a regular pig. It doesn't have to be a zombie pig, and I will be having ghost pig pattern coming soon. And make sure you like and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more free tutorials.